Yeah, it's interesting. But I also wanted to talk about the backlash that Jillian Michaels got. Because I think that's another different topic of discussion of, are we just not allowed to say facts anymore? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, the thing is, I'm not even that big of a, I'm not a big fan of Jillian Michaels in the first place. Well, I don't care about Jillian Michaels. I know she was on that show.
The Biggest
I think
Loser
she's a bit of a
something.
hypocrite too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on that fucking show where she was basically
starving people.
You know, legit starving people and making people, you know, exercise 8 hours a day or something and just making them lose weight in the most unhealthy way possible. So I don't understand why maybe she doesn't hold those beliefs anymore, and maybe she doesn't, you know, associate with The Biggest Loser anymore. But like, again, so I'm not like a huge fan of her in the first place, but then what she said, I mean, maybe she was a bit harsh, but like she's right.
I know the thing is at the end of the day, is there are a lot of realities to what she was saying. So like, I know the comment about like diabetes and things like that. It is a bit harsh, but it's statistically significant, because like, if you look at majority of people that have problems with diabetes are overweight. That's a fact. Like you can't dispute a fact. You know what I mean? Like, and unfortunately in the States, that diabetes happens to be a growing problem because of growing obesity. So like, you can't dispute things that are, you know, you can argue the black and the gray areas all you want, but when you have like facts, it's, you know, it is harsh, it is true. And I do feel like what she said, like she wasn't being, it was a little bit harsh, but I don't think she was really attacking Lizzo that much. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing. It was actually I was surprised that she had, I mean, today's day and age, everyone's so offended, but I was surprised at the backlash she got.
I know, because at the end of the day, she said, you know what, me and my kids, we love her music. That's what we should be celebrating. You know, the fact that she's, and to her credit, and I know you don't know like as much about her, I actually really do like Lizzo. She, just a little bit of backstory for those of you that don't know, she actually is and I might say this wrong, I think it's a flute. She plays the flute or violin. I can't remember which instrument, one of the two. And basically she trained when she was younger and became like, she was at the level where basically she was going to be playing in like the Philharmonic Orchestra or something, like really, really crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like she's super, super talented with music. I think it's the flute. I'm going to go with the flute. I could be wrong, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
And that was her career trajectory. Her whole plan was to go and play in like an orchestra and do everything else and be like part of the classical music scene. But then obviously she has this love of singing. And then she got like torn between the two, like singing and rapping. And her dad's like, well, you know, I don't know if it was a conversation that she had with her father or who, but she's like, you know what, I'm just going to try this singing thing. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll go into classical music. But she is so freaking talented. And this is what I do really like about her.
Yeah.
And I think Jillian Michaels in that respect hit the nail on the head, is we should be celebrating her music and how talented she is as an artist.
Yeah.
You know, and the other stuff.
And that's the thing. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say the other stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's not necessarily something that I don't disagree with what she was saying, in a sense that like, is that something that we should be celebrating? Celebrate that she's...
Yeah, why are we even talking about it?
Exactly. Why is it?
It's because she's a woman. That's the thing. She's a woman. Any guy, I feel like we never talk about this shit when it comes to guys. Guys, there's like, you know, skinny guys, there's fucking overweight guys, like, you know, out in the public eye. Nobody comments on their body image. This is another like gender double standard. When it comes to women, though, it's all about their body, whether they're overweight or underweight.
Always.
But especially if they're overweight, the whole discussion is about their body. But also they kind of do it to themselves too, because they're constantly, you know, talking about their body as if it's like the only thing that, you know, makes them stand out, which it's obviously not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure about Lizzo. I'm just obviously that's not. I don't know much about Lizzo, so that's not fair for me to say that. But I know that she does, like, you know. Actually, I don't know. Like, she does flaunt her body, but I don't know if she talks about her body image and stuff like that. But I do feel like there's so much, because that's like one of the first things that people said to me when they were talking to me about Lizzo. They weren't talking about her music. It was just like, oh yeah, she's like this really big like singer, and I was like, okay, cool. Like,
yeah. Well, and I think the interesting thing that you talk about guys there though too, about the body image for guys. And I agree with you. There's not as much pressure for guys. I mean, it's still there in some respects. Like you see these like chiseled abs and stuff on Men's Health and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's becoming increasing pressure on guys. Not as much as women. You're right. Interestingly, though, it's
not really even the pressure though. It's the coverage. It's like we don't talk about when it comes to like body positivity or fat positive or whatever these things are called.
Yeah.
This isn't talking about men. This is only about women.
Yeah.
When's the last time a guy was like, I'm a body positive model? Like, zero.
That's very true.
Why do we not have overweight guy models ever?
That's a very good question. The only guy models we have the 6-pack abs and look like this.
Exactly.
You know,
where's the representation there? Nobody talks about that.
It's interesting.
These body positive female models don't talk about how men don't get that representation. They want them to be represented, but they don't talk about how men don't get that kind of representation. Why don't we represent that?
Yeah, we just don't see it as much. I mean, I do think just coming at this...
Sorry, you continue with your point.
No, it's fine. I do think coming at this from the kind of gay perspective as well, though, is like... There's a lot of pressure within the gay community to look a certain way and to have a certain body.
Yeah.
Like, I know that might be like a little bit besides the point, but there's like, you know, there's no such thing. Well, maybe there is, but there's a lot less like, again, being body positive in the gay community, I feel like doesn't really exist. It's like, if you don't if you don't look a certain way, people are like, oh, you know what I mean? It's really harsh, you know? I'm sure I'm generalizing again. Don't get me wrong. I've met lots of like great gay guys that are like super nice, but like this happens to be like a trend. Yeah.
Anyways, oh Lord.
So what was some of the like, if you can remember, like what was some of the like key kind of like backlash? What were some of the points that people were saying to Jillian, like that were like,
Let me Google this. Jillian.
Because I know she has also...
Michaels.
She also clapped back, Jillian Michaels.
Oh, yes, she did.
Yeah. And then it's funny.
Let's see.
You say your points first and then,
Okay, well, I'm looking for what the backlash was.
Yeah.
But it was, let's see. I think a lot of people are a bit delusional about how bad it is and like to be overweight. And I get it. Like we discussed, like for a lot of people, it can be extremely difficult to lose weight.
Yeah.
And, you know, depending on whatever circumstance, whether it be genetic or societal, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we still can't deny reality. Even if you do lead a healthy lifestyle, just the fact that you are obese will cause problems.
Yeah.
So I think that if you want to be healthy, you should try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, it can be very, very, very difficult. But to pretend that that it is healthy to be 300, 400 pounds overweight is lying to yourself.
Exactly.
And why? I don't want to lie to people.
Or also lie to children and our kids and stuff as well growing up. We don't want them to be like, you know, we want them to be happy and content with themselves, but at the same time, we also want them to be healthy, right? So...
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. It'd be a tough one, Roses.
Criticism. Critics slammed her as fat phobic.
Oh, yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And the thing is, the funny thing is, in one of Jillian's clapbacks, well, I don't know if she's had multiple, but she clapped back being like, because she was like she was a personal trainer on The Biggest Loser, whatever else, but she said that she used to be overweight. She used to be like very, very big. Or not very big, but like a lot bigger. And she obviously lost all the weight, got into shape, blah, 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 blah. And again, I think she was like, in all of the things she said, she's standing by what she said. Again, just emphasizing that they need to be celebrating the music and celebrating that aspect of that person and not giving this, not this false image that, you know, being obese doesn't come with health consequences.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Wait, let's see. Lizzo supporters, however, interpreted Michael's comments as an attempt to fat shame the singer, who has been candid about overcoming body image issues.
Yeah.
Just days before Michael's, blah, 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 blah. And then someone else said, so this is on Twitter, someone wrote, said, just saying, my whole damn thin family has diabetes and high cholesterol and problems with our joints. Why is this woman acting like she's an MRI? Stop concern trolling fat people and get in the bin. Okay, I want to comment on this. First of all, no one is saying that being thin equals healthy. No one is saying that just because you're thin or not overweight, you're going to be healthy. That's definitely not what I believe. I've definitely seen very thin people or just people that look like they're, you know, healthy are not healthy.
Exactly.
So no one is saying that. Just because we say that obesity comes with a lot of health risks does not mean that we're saying that the opposite is true and that thin people don't come with health risks. That's not what she was saying. But is it a fact that you are much, much higher risk for having diabetes and other major health problems if you are morbidly obese. Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's a fact.
Yeah.
And that is not like, that's not trying to be mean. Like that is a fact. So it's like, we can't keep pretending like this is not an issue. When does this become a thing?
I know, but it's like the whole idea of like people that are smoking. Well, I'm just using smoking as an example, but like it would be like someone being like, "Oh, don't shame me for smoking. Like I love smoking." Blah 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 blah. And if someone was like, "Well, you increase your chances of lung cancer," well, fuck you.
Exactly.
Blah, blah. Well, it's not that I'm trying to be mean. I'm just stating this is an actual fact. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get lung cancer. You're just increasing your chances.
Yeah, by a lot.
By a lot.